Good morning students. So this is class 12th physics, and in this lecture I'll be discussing the assignment solutions of chapter number 3. Okay, so question number 1 says that there is a galvanometer in the circuit which is of 20 ohm resistance. The terminals X and Y are connected to a battery of 1.5 volt and 10 ohm internal resistance. Then you have to calculate current flowing through the galvanometer when switch is connected to A and when this switch is connected to B. So let us discuss the first case in which the switch is connected to A. So that means, see, when current will go from here, it has two paths to flow when A and S are connected. But as you can see, this is a normal wire. So that means there will be minimum resistance. So no current will flow through 20 ohm. The current will come from the battery and it will go like this and then this. Okay, so no current will flow from 20 ohm. So now let us make a Kirchhoff loop, that is this one, and apply Kirchhoff's equation. Okay, so again starting from this point it will be minus 1.5 because it has some internal resistance. So therefore if I suppose current I is flowing, so minus 1.5, because minus terminal is coming first, I am going in anti-clockwise direction. Minus 1.5 plus 10I, we will go like this. This is single wire, and then G is given to be 20 ohms, that is plus 20I is equals to 0. From here you can calculate the current of I, that will come to be 0.05 amperes. So when switch switch S is connected to A, the current flowing in the galvanometer will be 0.05 amperes. Okay, now when this S is connected to B, see, then 20 and this galvanometer, these will be in parallel. So let us calculate their equivalent resistance. So for parallel 1 by 20 plus 1 by 20, so equivalent resistance will come to be 10 ohm. Now see which circuit is there. See, the current will go like this. Because now this circuit is not connected, so the current will follow this path from here to here, then through these two, and then like this. Okay, so we have calculated an equivalent equivalent resistance for these. So the equation will be minus 1.5 plus 20I plus the equivalent resistance of these is R dash. So plus R dash I equal to 0. That is minus 1.5 plus 10I. Sorry, there is internal resistance also, so 10I will also come, okay, due to its internal resistance. So minus 1.5 plus 10I plus 20I plus 10I is equals to 0. So this 10 is nothing but equivalent resistance which we have calculated for these two. Okay, so again when you will solve it, you will get the value of current to be 0.0375 amperes. So these are the two values of current when switch is connected to A and when switch is connected to B. Okay. Okay, now see, this I is not only through galvanometer. This I is through the combination of galvanometer. Look here, this I is going through combination of galvanometer and this 20 ohm resistance. Now because they have equal resistance, so current will be get divided between them. So to calculate current through galvanometer, that will be 0.0375 upon 2. So the answer will be 0.01875 amperes, because this current is through the combination of galvanometer and 20 ohm resistance which are connected in parallel. So final answer will be this for B part. Okay, so question number 2 says a DC supply of 120 volt is connected across a resistance X, which is in turn connected with a voltmeter in series which has a resistance of 10 kilo ohm and it has a reading of 4 volt. Then you have to calculate what will be the value of this X. Okay, so let us use Kirchhoff's law in this circuit. So let us go in anti-clockwise direction. So the equation will be minus 120 plus Ix plus 10 to the power 4I, because this is kilo ohm. So 10 to the power 4I is equals to 0. Mark it first equation. Now the reading of this voltmeter is given to be 4 volts. And as you know, V is equals to IR. So V is 4 volts, current is I, and R is 10 into 10 to the power 3 ohms. So from here you will get I to be 0.4 milliampere. Just put the value of I from second equation in the first equation. You will get the value of X to be 290 kilo ohms. Okay, so in third question you are given this circuit And you, in first part, you have to calculate the current in this circuit. Okay, so to calculate current, let us calculate the equivalent resistance of these three resistors first. So as you can see, all the three are connected in parallel because both their ends are connected. So using the formula of parallel, you will get the equivalent resistance to be 3 ohms for these three resistances. Okay, after calculating this, use Kirchhoff's law in this circuit. So if I start from here and I am moving in anti-clockwise direction, so minus 12 plus 3i, if I am supposing I is the current flowing in this circuit, so plus 3i. Now equivalent resistance of this circuit is 3, so again 3i plus 24 plus 1.5i plus 3.5i is equals to 0. So solve it. From here you will get the value of current to be minus 12 by 11 ampere. So this is the current flowing in this circuit. In the B part, it is asking what is the current from 18 ohm resistances. See, now you know the equivalent resistance is 3 ohm and current is 12 by 11 ampere. Negative sign just shows you that the current is flowing in opposite direction. Okay. So let us calculate the voltage. Voltage will be I into equivalent resistance R3. So voltage will come to be 36 by 11 volt. Now if we want to calculate current from 18 ohms, that will be nothing but V by R. So V is 36 by 11 and your resistance is 18 ohms upon 18. So this will be 2 by 11 amperes. Okay. Okay, now in the C part, you have to calculate potential difference across each battery. Okay, so now look here. Let us suppose the potential across this battery is V1. Okay, so now we have supposed current to be in this direction, but it was coming negative. That means current is flowing from right to left. So this is the direction of current. Okay. Now if I want to calculate V1, that is potential drop across 12 volt battery, that will be, see, you are coming in this direction. If I am coming in this direction, there will be 3i and positive terminal is coming first, so plus 12. That means V1 will be 12 plus I into 3. So V1 will be 12 plus 3 into I. Just put the value of I to be 12 by 11 and you will get the V1 to be 168 by 11 volts. Similarly for V2. See, for V2 current is flowing like this. So if you are going like this, 1.5i minus 24, or you can say 24 minus 1.5i. So V2 will be 24 minus 1.5i. Again put the value of I, you will get the answer to be 246 by 11 volt. Or easily you can look it like this also. See, for this battery, current is flowing like this. That means current is going away from the positive charge. So as we have studied, the equation of potential is E minus IR. So that can be used here. V2 will be E2 minus IR2. But for this, current is coming towards positive charge. Therefore, the equation will become V1 is equals to E1 plus IR1. So you can easily do by those equations also. Okay. Answer will come to be C. Okay, in question number 4, a circuit is given to you and it is said that the this voltmeter has a resistance of 400 ohms. Then you have to tell in A part what will be the reading of this voltmeter. Okay, so now as you can see, this 100 and this 400 are connected in parallel. So let us calculate their equivalent resistance first. So it will come to be 80 ohms. Now use Kirchhoff's law in this equation. I am going in anti-clockwise direction, that is minus 84 plus 80i, equivalent resistance is 80, plus 80i plus 200i is equals to 0. Calculate current from here, that will come to be 84 upon 280 amperes. Okay, now we have to calculate voltage through this, reading of this voltmeter. So just voltage reading is nothing but V is equals to IR. So V is IR. I we have just calculated 84 upon 280 into R, that is its resistance, that is 80 ohms. So that will give you 24 volts. So this will be the reading of voltmeter. In second case, you have to calculate the potential drop across 100 ohm resistance, that is across this one. Okay. before the voltmeter is connected, that is when this one is not connected, what will be the potential drop across it? So this will be the only circuit. So let us make Kirchhoff's law, use Kirchhoff's law in this circuit. So that will be minus 84 plus 100i plus 200i is equals to 0. I from here will come to be 84 upon 300 ampere. Now again you can use V is equals to IR. So I here is 84 by 300 into 100. That will give you 28 volts. So this will be the voltage across 100 ohm resistance when the voltmeter was not connected. Okay, so the next is question number 5. In this question you have to tell the current across each resistance. Okay, so now first of all let us suppose I current is going from here. In this you have to tell current across each branch. Okay, so we will be telling across AB, AD, BD, BC, DC, all of these. Okay, so let us suppose I current is flowing. Let us say I1 current is going in this branch. So therefore from this branch I minus I1 will go. Now I1 is going here. So let us say I2 is going here. So from here I1 minus I2 will go. And similarly if I minus I1 is coming from here, I2 is coming from here. So for here I minus I1 plus I2 will be there. And again here these two will combine and you will get the answer of I. So these are the currents which we have chosen in the following branches. Now we will use Kirchhoff's law in different circuit and we will calculate the values of these current. Okay. So let me tell you how to do that. First of all, I have chosen this circuit. I am going in anti-clockwise direction and I have made the equation. That is minus of 5i minus I1 plus 10i1 plus 5i2 is equals to 0. This is your first equation. Similar equation I have made in second circuit. So you can make it yourself and you can check it. It will come to be this one. Okay. From these two equations, calculate the value of I and I1 in terms of I2. Okay. Now what you do? Now choose this circuit and make a equation using Kirchhoff's law in this circuit. Okay. So that will come to be this one. Again, I am going in anti-clockwise direction. So when you will make the Kirchhoff's law, that will come to be this. Okay, now you know the value of I and I1 in terms of I2. Put them here and calculate the value of I2 from here. So from here you will get the value of I2 to be this, I1 to be this and I to be this. Now you know these three and you know the current flowing in each branch, that is I1, I2, I1 plus I2. So respectively you can calculate all the values of current in all the branches. For example, in arm DC, the current is I minus I1 plus I2. So now you know the values of all three. Just calculate IDC, that is current in DC branch will be this much and put the values, you will get the current in DC branch. Similarly, calculate the current in all the branches. I have told you the value of I, I1 and I2. Okay. Okay, so sixth question is a simple question. It says for a 2.5 volt EMF of cell, we have a balance point at 8 meter. When the balance point is coming at 100 centimeter, that is 1 meter, what will be the value of EMF? So just use E1 upon E2 is equals to L1 upon L2. From there you will get the value of E2. Okay, so seventh question. In seventh question you are given a circuit and it is asked to calculate current along each edge and the equivalent resistance. Okay, so to calculate that, let us calculate the current of the value of current. Okay, so these value of currents are already given to you in the question. Okay, but let me explain it to you how it is written. See, 3i is going from this, so it is dividing here in three parts and all the resistances are given of 1 ohm. That means current will get equally divided. So I will go here, I will go here and I will go from here. Okay, now look at this I. When it will reach at this point, again it will get divided into two parts because the resistances are of 1 ohm only. So it will be also I by 2. It will be also I by 2. Similarly, when this will go, it will get divided here into two parts. So this will be I by 2. This will be I by 2. And similarly for this one, this will be I by 2 and this will be I by 2. Okay. Now, I by 2 is coming from here and I by 2 is coming from here. So in this branch, I will be there due to these two. Similarly, I by 2 is coming from here and I by 2 is coming from here. So therefore, in this branch, I will be there again. Similarly, now I by 2 is coming from here and I by 2 is coming from here. So here also I will go. Now I and I. Again 3 I will leave it. So whenever you write the currents, you have to always confirm that current entering the circuit should be equal to current leaving the circuit. If it is coming, that means you have chosen the current to be correct. If current entering is not coming equal to current leaving, that means there is some error in your chosen values of current. Okay, so because here 3I was entering and 3I is leaving, therefore we have chosen correct values of current. Now we will calculate the equivalent resistance. So to calculate equivalent resistance, let us calculate the value of I first. Now how we can calculate that? So clearly look here, I am choosing this circuit. I am starting from here, this one and this one. So this is a complete circuit. Okay, again look, this one and this one. Okay, so I will make Kirchhoff's I will use Kirchhoff's law in this loop. Okay, so I am going in anti-clockwise direction, that is -10 plus I, because this is 1 ohm, so it will be plus I, then plus I by 2, again plus I, and then there is no resistance, that means equal to 0. So from here you can calculate I, that will come to be 4 amperes. Okay, now total current in the circuit is 3I, not I. So total current in the circuit is 3I, that is 4 into 3 will be 12 amperes. Now you know total current in the circuit, you know the total voltage, so you can easily calculate equivalent resistance, that will be V upon I, that is 10 upon 12, that will come to be 5 upon 6 ohms. Okay, so this is the value of equivalent resistance. And to calculate current in each branch, you know the value of I, so you can easily tell the value of current in each branch is according to the chosen values. Okay, so this was your question number 7. Okay, so the next is question number 8. In this you are given two batteries E1 and E2. E1 is 6 volt and it has internal resistance of 2 ohms. E2 is 4 volt and it has an internal resistance of 8 ohms. Okay, so let us calculate equivalent resistance and equivalent EMF first. So because see, negative is connected to negative, that means we will be getting E1 minus E2 net EMF, because see, if you are going from right to left, so E2 will come first, E2 plus E2, then minus E1. So equivalent will become E2 minus E1 or E1 minus E2, because E1 is greater, so I am taking E1 minus E2. 6 minus 4, that will be 2 volts. Internal resistance will be R1 plus R2 only, that is 10 ohms. Okay, so now I will be nothing but net E upon net R, that is 2 by 10. So that will give you 0.2 amperes. Okay, so we have calculated current in this circuit. Now, if you clearly see in the circuit, the direction of current is already mentioned. And as you know, current always travels from high potential to low potential. Therefore, we can conclude that B is at high potential and A is at low potential. So VB will be greater than VA. Okay, so we will be calculating VB minus VA because VB is greater. Okay, now use Kirchhoff's law. See, we have to calculate potential difference between these two. So let us choose this circuit between A and B and use our Kirchhoff's law. Okay, so okay, start from here. Because I am saying this is at low potential, so I am taking it minus VA and this to be VB. So for this minus VA minus E1, it has some internal resistance R1, so due to that I R1, and then plus VB is equals to 0, because we have to calculate potential difference between A and B only. So I am choosing this circuit. Okay, so that will be equal to 0. From here VB minus VA will come to be E1 minus IR1. So just put the value of E1, I and R1. You will get the answer to be 5.6 volts. So this is the potential difference between A and B, and it is coming to be positive. That means VB is greater than VA.
Okay students, so next is question number 9. In that the same figure is given to you and it is asked what should be the value of this capital R so that the potential across it becomes 0. Okay, so first of all again let us calculate the current in the circuit. So that will be total EMF, that is E plus E upon total resistance. So R1 and R2, all the three are connected in series. So therefore total resistance will be R plus R1 plus R2. So I will be 2E upon R1 plus R2 plus R. Now we want its potential to be 0. So that, as you know, V1 is nothing but E1 minus IR1. So this should be 0, or you can say E1 should be equal to IR1. As you know, E1 is nothing but E. So therefore E should be equal to, putting the value of I here from this, that will be 2E upon R1 plus R2 plus R into R1. Okay, so E will cancel out. So from here you will get R1 plus R2 plus R is equals to 2R1. Just solve it, you will get the value of capital R to be R1 minus R2.
Okay, in question number 10, it is given two conductors are made of same material and same length. That is, resistivity and length is same for both the conductors. Conductor A is made up of a solid wire of diameter 1 millimeter, and conductor B is a hollow tube of outer diameter 2 and inner diameter 1 millimeter. You have to find the ratio of both the resistances. Okay, so first of all, let us calculate the resistance of the solid wire. So RA is rho L by A. Rho is rho, L is L, we are taking it to be L only, and area, as you know, it is pi r square, and diameter is given to be 1 millimeter. That means radius will be 0.5. Okay, I am not changing the unit here because finally we have to calculate the ratio. So the units of it will be get cancelled by units of the other resistance. So I am taking it as it is. Okay, if you want to change the units, you can. Okay, so this is rho L. Okay, I am taking length to be small l. Okay, rho L upon pi r square. So this is your resistance of wire A. Now for resistance of B, again it will be rho L by A. This is rho, again length is given to be small l. Now what will be the area of that hollow tube which has outer radius as well as inner radius? So for that we will be taking area to be pi r1 square. See, because from inside it is hollow, that means there is no material. Material is only present in this. So we will be taking this area, that is pi r2 square minus pi r1 square. Okay, so inner diameter is 1 millimeter. So radius will be 0.5, and outer diameter is 2 millimeter. That means radius will be 1. Okay, so just I have put pi 1 square minus pi 0.5 square. Now you have to calculate the ratio. So RA upon RB will be this much. Just solve it, you will get the ratio to be 3:1. So this is the ratio of the resistance of conductor A and B. Okay, next is question number 7. Next is question number 11. In that question, you have to calculate the voltage across this resistance, that is 8 ohm. Okay, so for that, let us choose the current. Because this is a battery, let us say I1 current is flowing from this battery, I2 current is flowing from this battery. So I1 is coming from here, I2 is coming from here. So here I1 plus I2 will go. Now what I have done, I have just chosen these two circuits and I have made the Kirchhoff's law equation. I have just used Kirchhoff's law, so you can also use them and you can make two equations. From these two equations, you can calculate the value of I1 and I2. So try to make the equations yourself and then check if you have made them correct or not. Okay. So I1 and I2 will come to be 1 by 36 ampere and 4 by 9 ampere. Okay. So now as you know, the current flowing through 8 ohm is I1 plus I2. So calculate I1 plus, okay. And you have to calculate voltage for it. So voltage will be nothing but I1 plus I2 into 8. So V will be I, that is I1 plus I2 into 8. So just put the value of I1 and I2 and you will get the voltage to be 34 by 9 volts. Okay. Okay, next is question number 12. It says for a cell of EMF 1.2 volt, you have a balance point at 30 centimeter. When a different cell is used, the ratio of the balance point length is 1.5. Then you have to calculate the difference in balance point for both the cells. Okay, so although EMF is not asked, but if it is asked, you can easily use this formula and you can calculate the value of E2. But here difference between the balance point is asked. So as you know, L1 is 30 centimeter it is given, and from here L1 will come to be 1.5 L2. So that means L1 is equals to 1.5 L2 is equals to 30 centimeter. From here calculate L2, that will come to be 20 centimeter. So the difference between the balance points is L1 minus L2, that is 10 centimeters. So this will be the answer. Okay. In the 13th question, it is asked which material is used for making the wires of potentiometer and why. So manganese is used for making the wires of potentiometer because it has high resistivity and low temperature coefficient of resistance. Therefore, higher the temperature, its resistance will change little because it has a low temperature coefficient of resistance. Therefore, it is used for making the wires of potentiometer.